Here we are yet again with another nostalgic Flash game review. Today, we're going to be looking at Super Fancy Pants Adventure. I found another old school Flash game on Steam. Now, I don't know if you guys saw my videos for Stick RPG 2, but it can be fun revisiting these old games. But the biggest difference with this game is we're not looking at that old version you remember from back in the day. These are new levels and a new game. Now, does this game still hold up? Let's find out. So how many of you played the original OG version of this game? Probably not too many of you, but to be honest, I barely even remember playing this. Now, I do remember the basic concept and idea of the original game. I just don't remember the levels or anything that made the original good. So this isn't the most nostalgic review for me, but hey, I'm still putting it in the title. So, what is the game actually like? Well, as you could tell from the gameplay so far, Super Fancy Pants Adventure is a casual 2D platformer. I don't play too many of those types of games, so keep that in mind because my first experiences with this game wasn't very good. I was struggling with the controls and just wasn't having a good time. That was until I switched from playing on mouse and keyboard to playing on a controller. I don't know about you guys, but for someone like me who mainly plays on PC, this was a very unique change for me. As you can see here, I'm sucking with the PC controls, but when I switch to a controller in the same area, it just flows more naturally and I play better. I just wanted to mention this because I heavily prefer playing on my PC with my mouse and keyboard, and it was refreshing to switch things up. Unless I play a driving game or something, this is one of the very few times I would actually recommend using a controller. Now, what does that mean about the gameplay? It was pretty enjoyable, at least when it came to the platforming and parkour, but I wouldn't say the same for the combat. It's not that there's anything wrong with it, it just felt like it was in the way most of the time. Like, you see the currency at the top left? I wish you got that for killing enemies. The combat only felt fun during boss fights or when I had to do it. Speaking of boss fights, I thought these were pretty alright. Usually boss fights in games can be annoying or difficult, but these were pretty easy and fun. I think I only died from platforming, not the actual combat. It can actually be very annoying when you miss a jump or something. This is something that could happen in all parkour games or any game with trial and error, but this game did piss me off sometimes. And going back to the currency, you collect these little squiggly things as you play, and you can use them to buy upgrades. At first, I was wondering about progression and just a reason to keep playing, so I was happy to see these upgrades. You can get cool new fighting moves for the combat I didn't care much about anyway. I guess the only other things I could think to say is I thought the soundtrack and presentation was nice and good enough. I thought this tower area was pretty cool in that you can fast travel. There's also a bit of a story, but I didn't care too much about it if we're being honest here. I also only played the game for about 2.5 hours and an extra half an hour just going for achievements. I also thought I was done with the game and realized as I'm recording this video, I forgot the entire last section of the game. Normally I'd go back and finish it, but I don't know, man. I feel like I was just done with this game, you know? I mean, there were more collectibles to get. Actually, speaking of the title of this game, you literally collect pants and even hats around the map. You go in these challenge rooms where you can find the hardest and most fun parts of the game. I recommend doing them if you really want your time and money's worth. I only spent $5 and it's only a couple hours of content. You can decide if that's worth it yourself. Anyway, there you guys have it for my review on Super Fancy Pants Adventure. It was pretty fun and nostalgic looking at this modern version of this game. It can be really fun getting momentum and doing everything correctly. Like I said, my first impression wasn't good, but try using a controller and the natural progression of the levels and the game does get better. But yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Drop a comment telling me if you played this game back in the day and what you thought of this newer version. Make sure you subscribe if you've been enjoying the content or want to see random games like this. Check out my review for Stick RPG 2 if you enjoyed this nostalgic review. Thank you guys for watching the entire video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.